Before Tyla Yaweh would team up with Post Malone for his newest hit single, Tommy Lee, with the Motley Crue star even contributing the distinct drumline heard on the track.
But I do here. Hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Oh my God.
While I kiss your girlfriend.
I kissed your girlfriend.
'Cause she needs a real man.
Needs a real
and
man.
not a boy like you.
Like you.
Hold my beer.
Before Tyla Yaweh would take to Instagram on his birthday and throw his support behind the Black Lives Matter movement. Before Tyla Yaweh would clock in over 37.5 thousand followers on Twitter, over 400,000 followers on Instagram, over 125,000 followers on TikTok, and over 230,000 subscribers on YouTube at the time of this recording. Alright, from the time we filmed this video to the time we edited it, well, those numbers have changed drastically. We did our best. Tyla Yaweh's career has been, in many respects, something of a Cinderella story. Now, he went from growing up on the rough streets of Orlando, Florida, to being homeless on the streets of LA, to accomplishing his version of the American dream and becoming a hip-hop sensation. Now, for some time, he dreamt of becoming a magician, so stick around and I'll tell you what his magician name was gonna be. It's actually a pretty good one. Now, throughout it all, Tyla, he never gave up and he hustled for everything he got, forcing his way into Post Malone's orbit and experiencing subsequent success.
Bitch for life.
Hey, this is for gang.
Straight up bitch. On.
Like Malone, Tyla, he has a face full of tattoos, as well as an experimental but massively marketable approach to making music. Now, while he's still young and working on building his career, he has a clearly defined sense of aesthetic and style that speaks to a lot of people. But how did a young man from Orlando, Florida, who grew up wanting to be the next Criss Angel, wind up instead becoming the first Tyla Yaweh with cosigns from the likes of French Montana, Post, and Juice WRLD? Well, you're in luck, because I know a guy who makes videos that answers those questions and more. It's me. I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden back at it again with a brand new video, this time taking a look at the life of Tyla Yaweh prior to fame. Here you, of course, are Before They're Famous. Now, you guys been asking for this video since Tyla first started blowing up about a year ago, so I figured a better time than ever to get this video finally done. And with his new track alongside Post Malone reaching #1, well, yeah, the kid's on fire. As always, you guys gotta let us know who's next in the comments down below. Alright, now let's get into this video. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Tyla Yaweh was born Tyler Jamal Brown on May 31st, 1995 in Alamonte Springs, just outside of Orlando, Florida. Now, when he was a kid growing up on the streets of Florida, he had a strong passion for two things: skateboarding and magic. Now, he started skateboarding at the age of 5, and he would play games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Underground. And he played these games like religiously. Now, the skater lifestyle, it may have ultimately not been for him, but its underlying punk sensibilities is something that Tyla would carry with him into his future career as a hip-hop star. In terms of magic, Tyla's idol was Criss Angel. Now, speaking with Inked magazine, he had this to say: "When I was in summer school, I wanted to be Criss Angel, so I used to cut all the people's yards in my neighborhood in 4th grade. I was a little hustler, $10 in the front, $10 in the back. I saved up and got a bunch of different magic kits and learned a lot of tricks. I used to freak the kids out at school." Well, around the age of 13, Tyla, he took an interest in music when his sister joined a girl band. Now, he would follow her around to practices, and by watching what she was doing, he developed his own talent for music. Now, next he started studying music and discovered that he was actually pretty good at singing. Then he took to dancing. Now, he'd organize functions at his local mall with different dance teams competing against each other all night long. Now, Tyla, he had so much fun doing these sessions that he knew music, it was gonna be his future. It was gonna be his future. There you go.
I be dancing. I low-key get my bachata on with the girls. I start doing the pop lock, might do my little 360 spin.
Growing up in Orlando, it influenced Tyla pretty heavily. Now, he found inspiration from other Florida native rappers like Plies, Trick Daddy Dollars, and XXX. Now, speaking about the Orlando music scene, he had this to say: "Orlando is a bunch of crabs in a bucket. That's the best way I can explain it. A lot of people pulling each other down, trying to get to the top. No one really supports each other unless you get out of Orlando." Seeking inspiration outside his native home, Tyla, he was drawn to non-hip-hop orientated artists. We're talking Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, My Chemical Romance, Green Day, The Used, and more. He stated, "All the dope iconic rock stars showed me that I could be whatever I want. what anybody says to do, follow your dreams. That's why my motto is the rules.
I go off like a lot of old rock stars, from like Jim Morrison, anybody that came up from like the CBGBs, David Bowie, like Iggy Pop, like dope rock stars, and go from Prince to Michael Jackson to James Brown to like all these different rock stars and people who influence the world. I just love, like, I always wanted to look like that. I always wanted to wear the leathers with the boots and the leather jackets and the trench coats and everything, you know? So that's where I get all my inspiration from.
At around the age of 15, Tyla, he took his own advice to heart and he found himself on his own. Now his parents, they were still in his life, but they allowed him to make his own decisions. And more importantly, well, his own mistakes. Now at first he made some pretty bad decisions. Eventually he got caught for selling weed and he was kicked out of the house by his mother. He told the Nocturnal, "She didn't really want to kick me out. I could tell she really wanted me to come back home, but I never went back home." From that point forward, Tyla, he was basically starting from scratch. Now he was still making music every day, but he wasn't going to high school anymore, and he was spending too much time in the studio trying to perfect his craft to earn a living that he never even graduated from high school.
Yeah, dropped out of school. I went to the streets and had to get to the munions.
Yeah.
But it's like a life story I had to go through, and I enjoyed it because it made me the man I am today. And every single day, it made me not fear nothing in life, not have no fear in your heart. Just keep going, keep doing what you want to do. Whatever comes to your brain, make it happen. So like seeing like being in like stolen whips and selling drugs and being around a lifestyle I'm not really supposed to.
Yeah.
Like I needed to be exposed to that. It's like you have to go to darkness to get to light. You feel?
Yeah.
And I just like, I fell in love with music too at the same time, and I made that happen. Like I just became a person that just made things happen the right way and not go against the grain and just be true to myself.
Tyla's first project was titled Dreams, Money, and Fairy Tales. Now he recorded it in Florida, partly in a professional studio and also partly in a closet. Then he dropped a single called Alone, and his marketing strategy for the tune was to put the local radio station's number at the end of the music video to get people to call in and request it. Now the tactic, it worked, and the track, it went viral in Orlando. At the age of 19, after seeing many of his friends get locked up in jail or wind up dead on the streets, well, he packed up his life in Florida and moved across the country to California in 2015. I was like, this is not my vibe. I'm gonna end up dead or in jail, so one of my good friends was like, I'm gonna drive you to LA. We went there and he dropped me off on Venice Beach, and we had an Airbnb for a month, and then I just did it. I was homeless. I slept on Fairfax, Melrose, on the beach, in my friends' cars. Yeah, talk about rags to riches. Now once in LA, Tyla, he took the stage name that he is known by now today, and he told L'Official. I was doing a lot of reading, and Yahweh means the fresh breath of air that created life. I'm not saying I'm a god, but I'm saying I am what I'm representing myself to be, which is a rock star. I'm representing myself as a fresh breath of air, a new creation. After spending a lot of time booking gigs himself, Post Malone and Dre London, they caught word of his talent. In 2015, he opened for Malone back in his hometown of Orlando, and soon after he found himself signed to Post's label, London Entertainment. Now the first single he would go on to release for them was Drugs and Pain in November of 2017. He then dropped 3 more tracks, Wildfire, Gemini, and Goals. Now all 3 tracks, they achieved millions of streams across Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. He then released his first album, Heartful of Rage, in February of 2019. His debut album provided a mission statement to his fans with its unique blend of guitar riffs, trap beats, and thoughtful lyrics, creating something wholly new in the process.
I feel like I want to bring, like, I'm naturally want to be a rock star. Like, I can't wait to have that, like, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, like, vibe when you come to my concerts, like, stadium shows type vibe. So I'm going to work till I get to that point, and I won't stop, like.
But still make great music, man.
Make great music and not being just in the box.
Exactly.
Like, make sure the world just stay tapped in.
Performances at festivals like South by Southwest, Rolling Loud, and Made in America, they would follow, and all of which he can now cross off his list of accomplishments. And while winning a Grammy, joining the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and becoming as famous as the Rolling Stones, they might also be on the list of what he one day hopes to achieve. Well, as long as he keeps being Tyla Yaweh, well, I think the sky is the limit for this talented youngster who once considered calling himself Cuff Daddy. Yeah, that's if he ever made it as a magician. Honestly, not a bad name. I'd pay money to see a show by Cuff Daddy, but I think he's in a better place doing what he's doing now, right? As for the rest of the story, well, I think we're going to wrap this one up here because this, of course, is Before They Were Famous. My name's Michael McCredden, and we make all sorts of celebrity bios here on this channel, so if you're new, be sure to subscribe. Let us know who's next in the comments down below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at McCreddenM. Also, we have a new Instagram at Before They Were Famous. Shop the merch. That's everything. See you guys in another video. Boom!